Hello and welcome back to Cast On, a knitting podcast where I talk about my finished objects, some whips, and most of the time some yarn acquisitions, like today as well. My name is Ellie, I am from Austria, and I hope you're all doing really well. As you will see, I am in a different location today. I am on my balcony, so I'm really sorry if you hear some background noises. I hope it's gonna be okay. I do live beside a street, so you will hear some cars like now, but I really hope that the sound is not too bad and everything will be fine. So let's wait for the car to pass. I have some just cold cappuccino here. Grab yourself a drink and I would say let's get started. Today I am wearing a dress I made a few weeks ago actually now. I really like this dress. I can link it down below if you're interested, and yeah, I would say we can get into the knitting part. Sadly, I do not have any finished objects. Over the past few weeks I've been in a bit of a funk, I would say. I'm a bit stressed out. I'm supposed to study again, but haven't found the motivation quite yet, so I do have lots of whips and I think we should just get straight into them. So I have a big basket down here, so that's why I have to reach down. The first whip is the Snowbell top by Sandnesgarn. Looks like this. I'm super happy about it. It is from a magazine, this one here. I showed this last time. This is the Sandnesgarn Summer Edition 2104 if anyone's interested. And I've had some issues with this top. Last time I think I was still working on the yoke. I've now finished it. I have separated the sleeves and finished on the body this much. I think it looks really good. What I'm using is the Sandnesgarn Lima yarn in this really nice aubergine colour. I can't remember what the colour code or the colour name was. I don't think I have it with me. But yes, this is the recommended yarn. I love this yarn. It is a blend between cotton, viscose and something else. Can't quite remember. But I love this yarn. The problems that I had with this was that when I separated, or I was supposed to separate for the sleeves, I had too many stitches and I was so off and it was just huge. And then I thought, alright, I will just rip it back. But then I realized, even when I ripped it back all the way to the lace pattern, because I finished it, I finished the whole lace chart and stuff, I still had too many. So when I had to basically unravel everything, because I found out that from the get-go with the ribbing I had too many stitches. I don't know how this happened, but I cast on a medium instead of an extra small, and that's why I had too many stitches. So yeah, but I knit it back up. Really happy with it, and now it's just gonna fly by. I think it's worked on 4mm needles, so it's not too thin as well, and I think it's just a really nice like comfort knit in a sense, because the lace chart is super easy. I was a bit confused at first because it said some strange things, especially on the top if you know the pattern, but it worked out well, and I can't wait to finally finish this and wear it, hopefully. So that is whip number 1. Whip number 2 is something that I have neglected a little bit. Let's try and yeah, that one's not here. It is my unnamed t-shirt, unnamed yet, or still should I say. This way. This is a t-shirt that I am designing myself with a 2x2 rib at the top. And since I showed you last, I've made one sleeve. I'm not super happy because it is quite wide and a lot bigger than I expected it to be, and it's also a bit stiff. Like I talked about this yarn before. This is the Sandnesgarn Smart here. Probably can't read that. Nah. In a really lovely blue color. The color code is 6026. Really bright blue. I'm working on 3.5 millimeter needles, and like I said, I finished one sleeve. I always do this. I always forget to change the needle when it comes to the ribbing for the sleeves and the bottom. It's fine at the beginning, but for some reason with the sleeves, it just, my mind is not there anymore. So I might have to redo this sleeve, and I'm gonna see how I can change it on the other side, and if I like this side better, then I will definitely unravel this one. But the length is pretty good. Actually, this is the front, I think. Oh no, this is the back. Sorry, I'm a bit all over the place today. But now I am working on a, not coloured, textured part, that's the word. Textured part, because I wanted the bottom of the shirt to have like a really cool textured thing going around or going on. So that's what I'm doing. But I am so close to finishing this. Like this sleeve literally took me like an hour or something. So I know I can do it, and I know it's a fast knit, but I had to rip this one back already once, so that's why I have this red lifeline. I don't know, probably can see it, just in case I have to do that again, because that was not great, because I have quite a lot of stitches going on in the round. But the reason why I'm not finishing this is because I'm not super excited about it anymore, and I have to work from a chart, and it's gonna be an 8-row repeat, so it's not mindless. Like I have to physically look at the chart to see what I'm doing, so that's what's been holding me back, and that's why I gravitated more towards like the Snowbell top, because it's just mindless, because you can just knit. But yeah, that's whip number 2. Try and get this on. Sip of coffee. Ugh, it's already warm. It's still super hot here. It's been cool for a few days. We had some pretty hefty storms and quite a lot of rain, which was good because everything is super dry. Like all my plants out here, they're all kind of crozzled. The lawn is an absolute mess. We can't even talk about that, because that's not a lawn anymore, that's like fried noodles. But so the rain was quite good to have. Anyway, back to knitting. Whip number 3 is something that I've also been working on for a while, and it is the Cécile top. I have finally joined. Last time I was just about to join front and back. It is now one top. I joined the straps already as well, and I'm working on the body, and you are working on 3mm needles, which are quite thin needles, and the yarn is also quite thin, obviously, so it does take a while. So far I've done this much, this part here, which doesn't look like that much, but it's actually quite a lot of work. And because you continue the rib pattern with pearls, I'm super slow with purling still. I've done so many purling projects now, but still it takes me ages to do. So I also finally I'm on my second skein, and I'm just gonna use this up and see how far I can make this. This is gonna be my last summer top. I'm not counting the Tin Lina one, because it is a t-shirt, and I think t-shirts are not necessarily just worn in summer. Like I like to layer a t-shirt and then a jumper over it. so I'm counting this as a summer top because it's a strappy top. And what I really liked doing with this project is when I'm on the underground or traveling from places, I really like to take this with me because it's just super small and just one cake, super easy to transport and everything. Just throw it in a project bag and I'm fine. So yeah, continue working on it. It is a really nice pattern. I really enjoyed it. I'm not necessarily someone who enjoys making each individual like strap and then joining it, because it's, I don't know, I know most of these shirts are constructed this way. I don't know. It was just a lot of work and it put me off because I was like, alright, I already made one of the front sections. I can have some time off now. But now it has become a mindless knit in a sense, and I can just take it anywhere with me. I don't have to work from a chart like you have to do for the portions, the straps, and I really like it. So that is whip number 3, I think. Gosh, this is piling up on my table. Whip number 4 is, get my hair out of my face. Whip number 4 is also a project that I designed myself, and it's a bit of a mess, as you can see. It is my sweater that I am working on, and I have decided on the name Snug as a bug because I think that is just such a lovely thing for a sweater. So that's what I'm gonna name it, Snug as a bug. Here it is, shown it last time. This is the front, this is the back. I'm super happy with this. I think it just looks amazing. It's exactly what I wanted. I wanted some structure and being just super simple with a folded neckline up here. And since last time I've not worked too far off the body. I think I already separated for the sleeves, I can't quite remember, but here is the part of the body from the sleeve separation like this. And the reason why I stopped is because I finished one skein for the bottom, and before I wanted to, or like before I joined for a second, or another one should I say, not just a second, another one for the body, I wanted to finish up the sleeves. I do think I have enough, but I just want to make sure that the sleeves are exactly what I look for in a sweater, because the body can always be a bit shorter if I don't have enough, which I don't think I will, but yeah. The sleeve I have started here, it's really not a lot. Also I have all these like stitch holders on my needles in case anything flies off my needles and I lose stitches. I quite like to do that, not just for trying on. But yeah, this is the part of the sleeve. I really messed up when I cast on under the arms. I tried this new method and it just didn't work, and it looks absolutely horrendous. I have massive holes like this, and I need to go back in with some extra thread and close these. I knew when I was doing it something wasn't right, but I just ignored it because I thought it would be fine, and obviously it isn't fine. So I'm gonna go back to my normal back loop cast on, which I usually do for these cast on stitches under the arms. But yeah, the reason why I didn't do too much of the sleeve yet is because I wasn't sure what I wanted. If I don't want it to be fitted, but this is already quite a snug fit, so I need to figure out what I want basically. And I know the sleeve is gonna fly by because it's like only this much, and even though you have the purling process, I think it's a lot more manageable, at least for me, with something of such a small circumference and like the big body here. The yarn that I'm using is Drops Lima. Here in the colour 9021, and I think it's a great yarn. I really enjoy working with it. It's going to be interesting to see how it's gonna block. I have made a swatch. The problem that I have with drops quite often is that they lose colour, so the actual dye comes out, so I have to be careful with washing stuff together. Like, I don't actually wash my my knits, I hand wash them all, but I have to be careful not to mix like two things together. I wasn't sure if that happened with this one as well, but I do know with the drops Anders, I made a green sweater once, and a lot of dye came out of that one. I used the drops alpaca, also in like a reddy rustic colour, and a lot of dye came out of that one, and that stained my towels. Obviously used white towels, which is not recommended, but yeah, this is my Snug as a Bug, and I can't wait to finish it and finally wear it when it's obviously cooler and not blazing hot like it is right now. I hope my camera also doesn't overheat, because I am in the sun and I just touched it and it is quite warm, so we'll see. Really fingers crossed. But my last whip is something that I've also not really worked on. It is my hefty blanket. I think it's fair to say now that it is a hefty boy, but I love this piece in its own way. If you've been around for a bit longer, then you know I've been trying to get rid of my acrylic stuff, and also if you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen all my acrylic yarn that I wound up. It took me quite a while, but it was well worth it, because the result of all the cakes stacked up in colour-coded order was just chef kiss. Very satisfying, so you can go and check that out on my Instagram if you're interested. But my blanket is huge. I started with yellow down here, went to green, light blue, blue, dark blue, and I'm now on this purple colour. This is all acrylic, and with every colour I want to have a different stitch pattern, because I want to try some new stitch patterns out, and I want to see what I like and some other stuff. Maybe I find some inspiration to do some more designing of a stitch pattern that I really like. Anyway, last time I think I was just joining purple, or I have just joined, I can't quite remember. I've not done too much because it's just super warm, and I've been focusing on my other projects a bit more than this blanket. So with this purple I've just done this much. It does take quite a while going back and forth, and also another reason why I'm not super like working on it intensely or as like an evening knit is because for this one as well, or this stitch pattern for the purple that I'm doing right now, is I need the chart, and I need to look at the chart to know what the next row is going to be. It's quite an easy chart, but you still have to know what you're doing, and that's why I've been kind of putting it off as well, because when I knit I don't like to be on my laptop. Like, I like to do just a repeat, like the same thing again, without having to physically refer to something. So that's why I've been putting this one off a little bit as well, but I think it is coming along quite well, and I have absolutely no plan. Let's fold this up and put this in the basket. It actually fits quite well in here, but it's quite nice. I have no idea when I'm gonna finish this, if it's gonna be this year, if it's gonna be around Christmas time. I've got no stress whatsoever. Actually, Christmas is in like 4 months, which is ridiculous to think. But yeah, I got no idea. I do want to get like crack on with my colours, because I do have quite a lot of like just 2 skeins. or it was like one skein and I had to half it, so I have enough because I'm holding all of the yarn double. I'm also working on 6mm needles for this project because I do have thicker and thinner yarn, and I thought 6mm is quite a nice sorry, my voice cracked there. It's quite a nice what's it called? I'm missing words today, I'm really sorry. It's quite a nice thickness to work on millimeter wise for my hands. That's what I'm trying to say. I hope you understand what I mean. But yeah, these are all of my whips. Very quickly, I'm just gonna transport them all back into my basket, which I think is quite handy actually. Normally I have them in project bags. I need to make more project bags because I don't have that many, and I really enjoy making them. Sorry, my hair is also having a mind of its own. I like to make project bags because, as you can see with this dress, I am sewing as well, and I like that you can just customize everything to your needs. And I've shown my project bags before. I want to, like I said, make more, also to fit some other things in because I am very worried of moths. I've not had an issue with them yet. I also have lavender like everywhere. That concerns my yarn, but I am a bit worried about leaving my project out like this. So I think I'm gonna crack on making some more. I've only made some with drawstrings yet because I just really like the look of it, but I also do have a lot of zippers because that's actually how I started out sewing. Started with making loads and loads of pouches, so I've got a massive amount of just zipper pouches now that I don't know what to do with. Some of them aren't even that good because, like I said, I was just starting out sewing, so maybe like a little bag with a zipper would be nice. But yes, these were all of my whips. I think we can crack on with yarn acquisitions, and I thought to myself, this time I don't actually have that many, until I realized I ordered yarn like a few days ago and it came in this massive box, and then I remembered, yeah, I did actually order quite a lot. But all of this yarn has, well, not all of it, but quite a lot of this yarn has got a purpose for it, so I think that's always good, right? So like I said, it came in this big box. I'm sorry if you hear like wrinkling and stuff. The sun is now behind some clouds. But I also, at the end of this video, if I have the time, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about my autumn projects if you're interested, because I always think that's quite fun to do. I'm also gonna make a separate video about autumn patterns, which I think would be quite fun to do. And yeah, so maybe let's tie that right in. One of the patterns that I want to make this autumn is the Mistletoe Muse by Drops. It is a free pattern. I'm gonna pop a picture either here or here, I don't quite know yet, in to show you what it looks like. I've wanted this sweater for quite a while. Well, when I say quite a while, I only started knitting about not even a year ago, so a while for me is like months ago. And it uses loads and loads of different colors, and Drops right now has got another sale on, which makes me super happy, and it is all about the alpaca yarn. So Drops Air is on offer, and this is quite an expensive yarn usually, but with the discount it's super affordable, and I would highly recommend to anyone to buy some of this yarn, because I think for this price and what you get, it's just incredible. Anyway, for the Mistletoe Muse pattern, you need loads of colours. So I have all of the recommended colours apart from one, because the shop where I normally order my Drops yarn from, they didn't have that colour. I have no idea about the names I can only show you the color code. I did have the sheet of paper somewhere, but I think it was in German, so it wouldn't have really mattered anyway. The first color, I think the sun is really gonna blow this out. First color is this. It is color 29. It's like a mauve color. The second one is color 5. It's like a really dark browny greeny. I don't quite know actually. Next color is this gorgeous super bright yellow. It is the color 22. Then we have color 26, and this is an interesting one. This is can't remember the name, I looked it up, but it's very interesting because this yarn is like a chained yarn, if you don't know Drops Air. And this, especially with this one, you can really see the different colors. I have absolutely no idea how this is going to show up on camera, but this is not just one solid color. It's like a white with some beige with some gray in it, so it looks a bit like a stony, grey, stony, quartzy stone yarn. That's what I want to say. The next one is color 30. I love this color. It is this gorgeous light blue turquoisey color. Like I said, you have a lot of colors in this sweater, but you only need one of each. The next one is this super bright red, and this is called raspberry. I don't know if it's the same name in English, but in German it was Himbeere, which translates to raspberry. This is color code 25, and I was supposed to have some kind of red, bricky red, but they didn't have it, so I substituted with this. I think it's gonna be fine. And then the last color for the color part is color 7, and I adore this color. I'm just such a sucker for a really dark red. So this is right up my alley. Even though I normally gravitate more towards blue, I just can't resist a good red. So these were the colors for the color work, and then the main color is this really nice light beige. It's color code 2, and I've not had this one before, but I think it's super nice. It's just the perfect combination, and I think it's just gonna look so good. The only thing I'm worried about with these chain yarns, I've worked with Drops, what's the other one called? Drops Air and Drops, oh gosh, I can't remember. There's another Drops one, and I always confuse them with Air, like this one, and they have the same, it's like the same chain yarn. I don't quite know what the difference is between the two. Maybe it's the components. This is yarn group C, so it's got 17 stitches and 22 rows, and it's a blend of alpaca, 65% alpaca, 28% polyamide, and 7% wool. The other one might not have any polyamide in it. I could be wrong on this, but I have worked with the other one before. Drops Wish, that's it, Drops Wish. I've worked with this one before, and what I'm worried about is that it's gonna pill like crazy, because my other jumper, like I said, is also a chain yarn like this, with super soft and super fluffy, but it pills like mad. So I'm a bit worried about this jumper, but we'll see. Then the next acquisition that I have, where is my notepad? I've already under my yarn now. Really sorry, the cars are getting more because people are leaving work now. Hope it's still fine. The next one is Drops Charisma, and this is color 44, and this is gonna be a jumper not for myself this time. This is gonna be Dreams of Aran. It's gonna be a jumper for my boyfriend. It has loads of cables. I've never done cables before, but I don't half-ass things here. So I always go full in with everything, and I don't start with easy projects. I don't know if I'm the only one, I hope not. But I go full force. Like my first jumper that I ever made was 3-stranded colour work. So anyway, I think it's gonna be fine. For this autumn I'm really craving some cables because I think they just look absolutely amazing. Anyway, back to the topic. Really nice light grey. This is the recommended yarn, or one of them. They recommend 3 different types: Charisma, Puna and another one. So very excited to start with this. This is gonna be a project that's probably gonna be on my needles for a very long time. Before I cast this on, I really want to finish off some of my other projects because I've got like 6 whips. So I want to get my needles back, I need my cables, and I want to put my energy into this because I'm planning on making it kind of a Christmas present. I don't know yet. He does know, like he chose the pattern. Sorry. He chose the pattern and I said I'm gonna make it for you. So he knows about it and it's not gonna be a big surprise is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, the last 2 things that I bought are from a yarn store here in Vienna, and this is the very first time I actually went to, well, I did go to yarn stores before, but they all had acrylic and it's always super awkward for me, and this was a store where I normally order my stuff from because they are one of the only ones that actually stock Sandnesgarn. So they had a sale on the summer yarns, so I obviously had to go there and get some, and I was actually quite disappointed because as soon as I left I got an email saying 15% off the whole store. So I just been to the store and I could have gone online and got some other stuff because they had amazing things. They don't have everything that they have in the store online, which is quite sad. But anyway, back to the yarn. First is Tin Lina in the colour 3042. It's called like Latte or something. It's got like a coffee kind of name, and it's a brownie beige colour. I've got no idea how it's gonna look on my skin. There was a lighter colour as well, but I thought the darker might be better for my skin so it doesn't look too white, because I mean the sun is not helping, but I am pretty light coloured because I don't really go out in the sun. Anyway, got this for a project in mind. I've told you I'm like on a designing train at the moment. I've started this summer designing a t-shirt, or I actually just made a swatch of what I wanted it to be, but then summer got kind of, yeah, summer's kind of over, so I want to prepare that for maybe next year, and I hope I can get it like tested and release it and like be proper with it, let's put it that way. So I have some swatches, but I wanted to try out this yarn because I loved it so much with my Snowbell top. That's the first one, and then the second one is Mandarin Petite, also from Sandnesgarn in the colour 4063, and it's a really nice red. Actually it goes, I don't know, it's like a reddy browny colour. I really like it. I don't really have anything like this in my wardrobe, so that's why I was drawn to it, and I think it's gonna look super cool. Got no plans for this whatsoever. I have absolutely no idea, but I'm sure I'll find something because this is quite thin yarn. The stitch gauge is 27 stitches, so it's fingering weight. I'm not planning on holding it double, but I might have to. This is pure cotton. Oh yeah, I can look up what oh, linen, that's what I forgot. The most important part. I told you before, Lena got is a blend of cotton, viscose and linen. The silly me. Anyway, back to this one. This is 100% cotton. It feels super nice and super, like, not dry at all. I mean, a bit dry, but in a soft way. And I can't wait to work with it. Like I said, absolutely no idea what I'm gonna do with it, but that's fine. It's all gonna be fine. Put this all back in here. So I'll just put my yarn back in my box. And if you are still around, I think I will tell you just a little bit about life and my autumn plans if you're interested. If not, then I hope I'll see you next time again. And yeah, about life just very shortly. Life's been okay. Like I said in the beginning, bit stressful. I'm not motivated at all. It's not just this heat. Like, I can't be arsed with my study anymore. I want it finished. I am gonna finish in about 1 semester, so I'm planning to be done in January, which is really pretty soon. And I have to pass these 2 exams, which are super hard, at least for me, and I'm struggling a bit with that. So I need to get out of the house to study, because when I'm at home I just can't. I don't want to do anything, but at the same time I don't want to go to a cafe where I have to spend money. So I'm thinking about going to uni, but uni, the library is like any library, very strict. You're not allowed to eat, you are very limited with what you're allowed to drink and stuff like this. So yeah, and it's also quite a big journey, like long. Never had a problem with it, but I don't really want to go just for studying, and then I'm hungry and then I have to buy something again. So yeah, that's my struggle right now. But I'm working on my bachelor thesis. It is going semi-okay. I've been accepted fully. I'm in, like, on the system, which is great news. That took quite a lot of pressure off me, and now it's just down to writing it. But yeah, also exciting news. I am going to England for 2 weeks at the end, from mid to the end of September. Super excited. My boyfriend's been to England about a month ago now on his own. I was alone for 2 weeks. That was fine. But I really wanted to go because this is like my only holidays, and I really wanted to go with him. So I'm super excited that we could squeeze it in just before my semester. It's gonna be tight because I do have to study whilst I am there, but I just can't wait. I want to go to so many yarn shops, and it's just perfect because Inga from Knitting Traditions, she is doing a collaboration with Woolly Knits, and I love this company. I have quite a few cones of them. I've made a sweater from their cones, and I love the yarn and I really want to get more. And the mill is actually just around the corner of my boyfriend's house, like where his parents stay, because my boyfriend is English, and I'm just super excited to go there and check out some yarn stores for all the things that you can't get here because customs are pretty darn expensive. So I really hope I can do all of that, and I'm saving a little bit of money for that so I can spend it all. And that brings me now to my autumn knitting plans. I do have quite a lot of yarn. I've already mentioned 2 projects that I want to do with the yarn that I recently bought, but some more plans. I always say I have plans and then something like comes in between, and then the plan is never gonna be fulfilled. So we'll see how much I can actually do with these. Also, I'm just really enjoying the process of knitting instead of just creating the project, and there are only so many sweaters that I actually need. We're looking into buying a closet. So right now what we have is the corner where our clothes are is really awkward. Like, it got like a really awkward like corner in between the corner. Don't know if that makes any sense, but it's quite strange, so you can't fit like one unit in because you have like space that's not supposed to be there, or it just looks awkward. Anyway, the point that I'm trying to make here is that, excuse me, I'm trying to explain something here. The point that I'm trying to make is that I don't have that much space for big jumpers, and my stuff is already overflowing, so I will give some stuff away that I made last year and maybe this year. I want to start making more projects for other people. That's why I'm so excited with the jumper for my boyfriend, because then it just doesn't take up my space and I'm doing something good for other people. That was a lot of rambling for saying my autumn knitting plans, so let's do that right now. Apart from the 2 sweaters that I just mentioned, I really want to make the Ingrid sweater by PetiteKnit. I've bought the pattern in March as soon as it came out. I love the design. It's gonna be very intricate and it's probably also gonna be a very long project, but I'm just super excited. I have also bought the yarn that I want to use at the beginning of the year pretty much, so I really want to bust my stash with this one and can't wait to cast it on. Then the next one is gonna be a self-drafted sweater again. I have a sweater, I showed the yarn last time I think, or the podcast before, I can't quite remember when I bought the yarn for it, but it's gonna be just a rendition of a sweater that I already have. It's gonna be a colour work yoke, and I have also made the chart yesterday, which is super exciting. I just have to figure out where to put the increases so it doesn't mess up the pattern, but that's my problem. The next sweater is going to be the Cargill sweater by the lovely Creabea Rebecca. She's currently designing the sweater, or it is in testing, and it's going to come out at the end of September, and I love the design and I really want to make it. I have some yarn in mind. I need to see if it's gonna work out, but we'll see when the sweater actually comes out and if I have the time as well. I really hope so, because it's just such a lovely design and I think it would look great with some of my dresses and stuff. Then another sweater would be the Franky sweater by Sandnesgarn. I can pop a picture in of what it looks like. It is from the Sandnesgarn, is it a DIY one? I will link everything down below. It's from a magazine, I showed it last time, and I also have some yarn in mind for this. I actually wound it up already. It's gonna be a woolen knit yarn and I just can't wait to start it, but like I said, I need to get some stuff off my needles before I can start with all of these things. And I'm pretty sure that this is gonna be a comfort knit because it's just straight stockinette, and I love slouchy sweaters. So yeah, these are some of my plans. I do have many more, but I don't know if I even have time to make these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sweaters. Jeez, I mean 5 for myself and 1 for my boyfriend, but that's a lot of sweaters. I mean, I know you can never have enough sweaters, but my closet says otherwise. So we'll see if I can actually make all of these, if I have the space. I definitely do have the yarn. But yeah, this is, I think, the end of the episode. Thank you so much for sticking around. I hope I will see you again next time. I also hope, like I said, the audio and the lighting was okay. I know it changed quite a lot with the sun, but I still hope that you enjoyed this episode. Happy knitting, and I'm gonna see you next time. Bye!